Earlier, President Obama signed that request this afternoon, paving the way for FEMA to step in and help coordinate disaster response. And Congressman John Mica joins us now here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
Well, good to be with you on a very tough day for Florida, and we're watching this very closely. This is one of the worst storms I've ever seen since my family moved to Florida in 1956.
And Congressman Mica, obviously, you've been watching Tony's forecast, and the way that storm is turning, Seminole County, which is the majority of your district, is right in the bullseye of some of the worst damage. What have you been telling your constituents?
Well, I've told them that first, interestingly enough, I serve as the chairman of oversight for FEMA, our federal emergency management agency. Earlier in the week, we made certain that we had FEMA officials here, and we have them here in Florida, a coordinator helping to coordinate from the national level. And then we have a 10-member task force that we asked and was held over from the Hermine Gulf incident we just had. So we have our federal people in place. Then I've met with the local folks yesterday. As you just heard, Seminole County, Orange County. They're our first responders in this kind of a disaster. But with the declaration, we didn't want to wait. We know the disaster is coming, so we didn't want to delay in that request. We worked this morning with the White House. President just announced it. The governor asked for it last night, so we can make government work.
Congressman Mica, can you tell us, for those that may not know what exactly it means to have this emergency declaration in place? What will it do for us?
Well, again, you don't want to wait till afterwards. I just came back from Louisiana last month. Louisiana was hit by a horrible storm. FEMA was not properly responsive. When I got there almost 2 weeks later, they had one mobile unit erected for 300,000 people for one family. And I didn't want that to happen in Florida. That's why we got them designated with liaison. We've got our team in place. Now we've got the declaration already done. If you wait till afterwards, you lose a lot of time. There's going to be a lot of damage, and it has to be addressed immediately. We want those emergency operations centers open. We want to start restoring businesses and power and everything in our state as soon as possible. And then people are going to need some assistance, and they paid for that through the federal government, and that we want that there, whether it's SBA, small business, their home, again, and the communities. The communities already have expended lots of money. This is not a cost-free venture so far in what they have invested just today. In putting additional crews on, personnel, changing systems out. There's going to be big losses. We're closing down links. We're closing down Sunrail, the airport. So this is going to have a huge economic impact, and we want a federal response immediately, not down the pike when things turn south.
So let's look back to 12 years ago in 2004 when we had the bad. What lessons were learned then that are implemented now?
Well, I can tell you, first of all, anyone listening, listen to that weatherman. If that surge comes, we've never had a surge like that, and it hits with high tide, you are looking at a 7 to 10 foot wall of water. You will not survive. So that's one lesson. We haven't seen that here, but that's something that you better watch out for. The other thing, too, don't park your car near a tree. Trees are going to come down all over the place. Power lines are going to come down. We learned, too, that you can be electrocuted. You don't want to get in any standing water. Those are just the simple things. And if you haven't battened everything down, get it battened down now, because those will become projectiles going through people's windows, through cars and everything else. So those are some things that we learned then. And then our offices will remain open. Now, we may not have personnel in Florida, but we'll be connected through our communication system to Washington. We'll be open tomorrow. We'll be open Saturday, Sunday, Monday, as long as it takes to serve people. If they have questions or need reference to get something done or attention, we'll be there.
Congressman Mica, on a personal level, is this storm making you nervous?
It's very nervous.
You've been here.
My wife and I have had a little condo over on Cocoa Beach, right on the ocean first floor. We may lose everything. We've been blessed in the past not to have that happen. I don't know if we can dodge the storm this time, but Ours is minor. There are people whose whole life savings, their principal residence, very, very concerned. This is a tough one.
When you hear that declaration of the curfew from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning until 7 a.m. on Saturday, how important is it that people truly follow that, stay off the roads and get out of the way?
Pay attention. Yesterday we were working concerns is elderly in nursing homes and hospital. We think most of those have been evacuated. Again, the people that are most at risk are some of our elderly. And we moved yesterday to make certain with local folks in the hospitals and nursing facilities that those people are cared for. So anyone else you may know of that's elderly over towards the coast, we've got to get them taken care of immediately. This is within hours.
And what advice, what other advice are you telling people that live in your district?
Well, the other thing we learned, too, in the past in some of these storms now, and you just saw the weather forecast, even if the winds don't quite reach the hurricane force, what we may get, too, is these sort of tornadoes or tornadic winds. I've seen what they can do, and they'll kill many people. They'll level properties. I mean, you'll see nothing but the foundations. I've seen it here in Florida and other places where I've had to conduct oversight visits, but those can be horrific. So be ready to shelter, be alert, watch, again, these broadcasts, stay tuned. And again, just don't take this one for granted. This is a big-time storm.
Well, we appreciate you getting that declaration signed, and we appreciate
the president signed it. The governor asked for it.
Right.
The whole delegation this morning chimed in. We were in early, getting the request to the White House. But that's the way government should work. People want it to work that way.
Be proactive.
We've got to, again, get our team here. We've got them there from FEMA, not afterwards waiting. Where's FEMA? Where's the federal government? And then you got some great folks. I just saw Don Esslinger, John Horan, Mayor Jacobs, and the people they have behind them. We had a checklist yesterday going over everything, right down to pets, making certain they're taken care of. And then the other thing is debris. There will be lots of debris. Already pre-positioned sites. They've got sites where we can take the debris. We've got to get the public thoroughfares. We've got to get back to business and normal activity in our community as soon as possible. So I can tell you that you got some great people working out there right now and planning and ahead, not waiting till after.
Congressman John Mica, the chairman of the FEMA board up in Washington, and also a local congressman as well. We know our thoughts and prayers are going to be with you and the entire community. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You have a busy day.
Thank you for attention to this.
Appreciate it. And we want to talk more about FEMA's response. Let's get to